Alrighty, welcome to another Tuesday night real talk with Rob and JMS. Tonight we're going to talk all about uncovering your vision and really what that means, because it can get really easy to get tripped up in like vision and life purpose and all this stuff that really applies to both your life and your business if you have one. And it really is it really should be the guiding force, and it really should be a source of simplicity and clarity that leads the whole show. But it can just be really tricky. It can be really tricky. And before we get into it, I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Justin Messina, and I am a reformed engineering student from the education system and all of that. And now I'm a health and lifestyle coach. I focus on a body, mind, wallet approach, which is highly to do with mindset and coaching people into clarity and topics just like this one, like uncovering your vision. And we got Rob Shepard here. So, Rob, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Robert Shepard, and I'm actually a health, fitness, and lifestyle coach. And I help others to see their vision clarity and also to live a healthy lifestyle and focus on just getting you with the proper mindset and to help you clarify your vision.
Alrighty. So, yeah, it's great to have you here. I'm happy to be here to speak to people tonight who, feel this message, feel this, might be struggling with this, might want a little bit more clarity in what they're doing. Coming from the health coach arena, which a lot of, Rob and I are, we know a lot of health coaches out there, and probably health coaches listening right now, where there's a lot of emphasis going through the health coaching certification and afterwards trying to find out what your target market is, find out who your tribe is, and all these different words that are used for how do I find out what I'm focused on. And that goes beyond just the people that you're interacting with. That goes into how are you going to go about your daily routines, like how to set up your priorities and where ultimately are you headed. One of the things that I notice the most with people who are a little lost and a little they lack the clarity that they want is that they don't have a clear idea on what is success to them, and they lack an idea of what their success is to them, but they also lack what their end goal is. And that's no surprise, like, because it can be really hard to find that end goal and to stick with it if you haven't properly tapped into what is my vision. And that vision really comes from within you. It doesn't come from outside sources. It doesn't come from other people. You're the only one that can find that ultimate vision for yourself. And when you do, all of this stuff's going to get easier. So I'm going to switch it over to you, Rob. I'm going to be using the mute tonight because of different outside noises we get going on. But I'm just going to jump it over to you, and we'll get more rolling with this topic.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So when you take a look at as far as your vision standpoint, Justin and I was having a conversation. We're talking about how it is so different when you allow someone to buy into your vision than to just purchase into a product or purchase into your services or purchase into, your lifestyle, I should say. Because sometimes you see there's so many different things being flashed out there. There's money being flashed in people's face. There's different brand new cars. There's all these things that flash in, and we can sometimes focus on that and totally lost clarity and totally lost what we actually, our visions are and where our direction to go. And we can't pay attention to others because we don't know what they have been through. We don't know how long they've been doing something, but they come up to the surface and show it like, okay, here I am. Wow, this is so awesome. And we take a look and say, oh wow, this person is doing so well, instead of just stepping back and focus on your vision, focus on your team vision, and to have a better direction onto where you're going. Success, we can all be successful. I mean, it's like anything else. And I mean, one of my mentors said, if you want to be the best, you follow the best. model the best and be better than the best. And I thought that was like an awesome structure. So whenever you see someone out there doing something, say for instance, you have a vision and said, all right, you want to be the best health coach out there, or you want to be the best marketer, the best promoter. And always remember this: a promoter, I mean, when you're a promoter, you're a promoter. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. You can promote whatever you want to promote, and you can be successful at it. But when you have that vision going, you're strongly excited about what you're doing. You're strongly excited about where you're going. And just the excitement alone will give you the drive that it won't even allow you to sleep sometimes at night. But when you just jump into things and said, okay, here I am. Like, for instance, I can tell you this, okay? We went to for health coaching school, and we all came out, and I know during the course that there was going to be some challenges coming along the way. I know it. I just knew it, because it did sound sometimes can be too good to be true. And I had to take a look at myself and said, okay, what aligns with who I am and where I want to take this to another level? Then I realized, okay, what's my vision? And I keep going back to that, because I feel that once I find my vision, then I started finding my purpose. Then I started defining my why. That alone excites me. I don't have to see the mandatory dollar figure comes in before I get excited. And once all those things comes together and you start putting it in paper, looking at it as a way of, okay, now I know where I'm going. Now I know my message. And sometimes it takes you time. Like, for instance, you heard when Justin introduced himself, his message was pretty clear. I mean, well, clear, precise. So his direction, you know exactly where he's going. So you just have to tweak that, look at it and say, all right, let me tweak my message. Let me get my vision down pat, and let me go after what I'm striving for. But to give up, it should not even be in your vocabulary whatsoever. Just keep tweaking. And we have the internet. I give you a nugget. Got to give a nugget. Got to give a nugget. For instance, you're trying to do something. Everything you need to know is on the internet. Name it. If you want to know how to create a landing page, it's on the internet to how to do it. Just put how to. If you want to know how to market a health coach program, it's on the internet. If you want to know how to get your marketing together, it's on the internet. I mean, I can go over that with you, but research it for yourself. I mean, we can share it with you when you join force with our new team, Vision Fit Movement.
We're going to pump the brakes on that, and we're going to have a whole hangout for that. We have plenty of time for that.
All right. Justin said to stop that, so I'm going to cut it, but I'm excited about that because you know what? It's taking our trials, tribulations, our failures, and putting them together and decided to come forth and help you. Back to you, Justin.
Absolutely, man. There's so much that I want to hit on with this. And the first thing I want to go over that you said, model people that are successful, that are doing the things that you want to do. And the other flip side of that you also said is, get in a place where you're going after what you really want. So it's a really tricky thing sometimes, especially if you're someone who you notice that you, I don't know if it's shiny object syndrome. I don't know if that's what it is. But sometimes it's easy to jump from one thing to another in a way where you're trying to do the best by yourself. You're trying to find what it is for you. And a lot of times what I find is it's just useful to just disengage from the outer world. And I mean, people disengage to meditate. People disengage to get off the screen sucking of the social media and everything. But why not disengage and think about what are you doing here in life? What do you put on this earth to do? And so with that, it's a tricky thing. The heart is tricky, and it's tricky to go in and say, how can I model people that are successful, but how am I going to make sure that I'm not just doing what they're doing? Because what people will do is they'll see people make certain posts, and they'll see people who are really attractive with their posts and their marketing and things that they're doing, and they'll go and they'll just copy them. They'll go and they'll try to be like them. and that really robs, really robs your whole purpose of why you're here. And it's really, really bad to look at other people as they have a bigger purpose, or they're more attractive in how they're presenting themselves, or whatever it is. Um, no, I don't care how successful they are. It's horrible to look at people in that way, because you can look at someone and have them inspire you, but know that your vision is not any less than anyone else's. And look at people who are like you. And it doesn't have to be people, it can be people in your life, it can be people who are, in mainstream media or whatever. It could be people throughout history, like a personal example. I like to look at people like Albert Einstein and Michael Jordan, and through having ADHD and this idea of hyperfocus, and it just comes with self-awareness, which I'll get into a little bit in a second, but just find people that inspire you, that you can find people that have been super successful with qualities that you have, and just live in that mode where look at successful people, be inspired by them. Don't try to copy what they do. Be yourself, but be inspired. And I think when Rob's talking about modeling is very much to do with the structure of how you live, right? It's not copying someone, but it's taking someone that's successful and learning from how they operate and what level of standards and excellence they have with them, right? So, all right, let's see. Do I want to go into this topic? Yeah, I don't know. This might be a big one, but I think I want to go right into it. Okay. So there's this idea that if you're someone who is struggling with what is my vision, I think maybe the number one way to get through that sort of challenge, is becoming radically self-aware of who you are, and not who you are in terms of how you live in your life, or what's my personality. It's more on a deeper level. It's like what's my origin, is what I like to call it. It's how are you born and how are you created, and whatever your spirituality is, don't let this affect what I'm about to say, but what are your God-given gifts? Okay, like whatever you were created with. There's ways to do this. There's ways to find. There's different personality tests, and there's variations of different self-awareness tests. And what's useful is what a lot of people do first is they take one test and it says you're one thing, and then it's like, well, I'm still lost. I don't know what that means, right? But what you got to do is you got to not stop there. You got to keep going. You got to do everything you can to be completely self-aware of who you are and what you're gifted at. What are your skill sets that you can develop to a maximum level? Because if you're just operating in another area, you can never become great. You're never going to find that vision, and you're never going to be able to go after really what you're supposed to do in this life. So if you can become radically self-aware, and that can be with your vision, but that can trickle down into your daily habits. Don't feel like I have to work between this hour and this hour. What if you're a night owl? Stay up during the night and sleep during the day. Like, just whatever it is, just make sure that you are understanding how you're operating, what's going on, and just cater towards that. And don't let other people influence how you're going to live within yourself, because you're going to find your vision. No one can tell you your vision. No one can tell you what your habits are going to be that are going to be the best. There's certainly a lot of great information out there that you can use, and there's know-how stuff. But when it comes to your vision, the answer isn't out there. The answer's inside in your heart, and only you can find out what it is. And if you're not clear on who you are on a deep level, then it's very, very hard to find your vision. So I'm going to switch it over to Rob, and hopefully the coffee shop is a little quieter, but it's all right.
That's okay. That's what it's called. They're living the laptop lifestyle, brother. But
Yes.
man, I just love I love what you just said. It's awesome. And I would love for you guys to comment below. If you're watching this tonight, or watching this tomorrow, whenever, just comment below and just tell me what was your biggest takeaway from what Justin just said? I would love to hear and watch and see your comment, and I would love to answer to your comments. But I want to jump into investments. And what I realized, and I'm just going to, again, we're being real and coming from the heart, and I just want to share this with you because I feel that it's very important to use that word investment. And it's something that I would like for all of us to change. Okay? Never looked at it as I am spending money. I am going to spend money on a backpack. I'm going to spend money on a MacBook Pro. I am going to spend money on a new car. I'm going to spend money. Don't use that word, because then when we use that word, it actually takes away from the value of what we're doing. So if we change our terminology and said, I'm going to invest in this backpack, which is going to be an investment in myself. I'm going to invest in this MacBook Pro. I'm going to invest in this car. Just use that word investment. It will just change your whole concept and mindset. Now, I want to kind of dig deep into investing in your vision. That's big. And I found, I said roughly about, I think I realized after, growing up in Jamaica, I knew I was destined to be an entrepreneur. I knew I was destined to be someone that was very creative. I knew it was in me because at age, I think it was like 5 or 6, around that age group, 7, I was working for a gentleman making these things called figurines. And I used to go out and sell them for him. And he would say, sell it for $30 and I'll sell it for 40. And I'll keep it 10, and then I would get to him and he will still pay me again. You're talking about a 7-year-old with some good analogy there. But so he says to me, go out, sell it for 35, sell it for 40, and I know right away I'm going to add a $5 or $10 to it, and I'm going to get an additional commission once I did that. So that alone let me looked as far as investment into different things, and now I knew that I was where I was destined to be. Now, 7 years later, here I am realizing to myself that I have to invest in my vision, and we should all take a look at that, and knowing that your vision sometimes, and most of the time, is going to cost an investment. So when you see at times you're going to a point where it's not going this direction, look at an investment standpoint. Look at what you need to tweak. Just take a deep look at it and say, all right, what I need to get together. How am I going to separate myself from the rest? How am I going to be in this direction? So start thinking about that. Just said, okay, did I give it my all? Did I really went out after my vision? Did I really dig deep into my vision? Or did I just try? Was it really a vision, or was it just because I saw someone else doing it, so I feel it's something I should accept and try it? So that's a good way to start, is looking at your vision, understanding there's an investment into your vision, and invest in it and take action, and you should see great success. Back to you, Justin.
That's such a powerful point, because when you have a vision, you'll know when you have it. You kind of know when you have it, but what's easier is when you know when you don't have it. And here's how you know when you don't have it. Here's a very common thing that people do. People love, in this day and age of network marketing, there's tons of stuff out there. There's tons of ways to network marketing, but affiliates too, just all kinds of different affiliate programs you can be part of. But your vision is something that is planted in you. God plants something in you, and it is a desire, and it proves your design, how you were created. So the way to know that you're not online with your vision is if your vision is adopted to a product or a service or a company that you're affiliated with, then you know you don't have your vision. You know that you've taken on someone else's vision and you're using it as your own. And that's dangerous, because you're basically putting up a ceiling where you're not going to break through that ceiling, because you've limited yourself. You've put your own desires into like a box. And I see this happening all the time, and I'm as tempted as you are right now, Rob, to talk about what's coming up next, what we have coming up. But basically, we have a passion to speak with people about this because there is a way to live out your vision as heart-led entrepreneurs where we're not, no matter what we're affiliated with or what we're doing, um, we can all work together. We can all help each other through and embrace this idea of finding your vision. And that's really become my big my big vision is really working with people in that area. And whether it's people already coaches or people who are on in online business, or just aspiring entrepreneurs, it's creating that lifestyle freedom and to really go after and figure out really what is your vision so that every day when you wake up, that's what drives you. And it's not revolved around one goal. It's something that is always expanding out. And that's another key point of how you know whether you're really tapping into a bigger vision that you have within you. Is it's never one goal. It's a picture. It's more of like a picture of something that can expand out, and it's not you hit a goal and then you've fulfilled your vision. It doesn't. I've never heard anybody ever describe vision that way. So I really doubt that there's people in the world where you hit a goal and you feel like you fulfilled your vision. I think that things are never ending. Things are fluid, and the closer you get to what your vision is, the more it's going to expand, the bigger it's going to get, and the more diligent and fast you are with it, the bigger it gets. So it's exciting stuff, and it's well worth going into, well worth putting your time into it. And it's I would say if it's something that is a source of struggle, it's something that is worth putting time in every week. If you already set goals every week or you do different activities every week, I would find it hard pressed for anybody to be able to prioritize out something like quiet time to really look in themselves and find their vision, because really uncover your vision. And I mean, there's few things that are as important as that, because when you have that, then there's so much less stress. There's so much less deciding things. Things just sort of happen, and you can easily make decisions. You know what is right and you know what's wrong. You're leading with your heart. Things are just much more beautiful, much more rewarding, and it's so much deeper. Like I was having a conversation today, right? And with a good friend of mine, and she asked me, what do you what do you say you do, right? Because it's this kind of like with health coaches, it's this thing where it's like, what is your 10 second? And I just said it, and I remember in the past writing this down and being so tedious of like, what is this going to be? I gotta write this down. I gotta memorize this, and every time I meet someone, I gotta be able to say this. I need to know it like the back of my hand. And what happened is, um, every time I met someone and wanted to talk about what I did, it would always come off so strange. It would be so structured, and it would just be choppy. It wouldn't come out right. And and I realized, like, during this call, it was so easy to just say what I did because I wasn't speaking from a script or from what I thought I was supposed to say or what I mechanically crafted on paper. It was literally just speaking without thinking, because it was truly from my heart, truly what I want to create and how I want to impact people and impact the world. And that's the sort of thing that happens when you're really in the right ballpark of what your vision is, which can be evolving all the time. So I'm going to shoot it back over to you, Rob.
That is just so powerful, Justin. Powerful, powerful. Crafting your vision, man. That's like, I mean, the thing is that when I look back at where you and I at today and where we were yesterday, it's like such a big difference. And just to kind of elaborate a little bit about this, because I think sometimes we have to dig deeper into certain things to kind of see beyond the surface than just looking at the top part of things. And we have to, like, and the reason why I'm going to bring this up, because I remember the first time when I interacted with Justin, and I know where I was actually and what I was doing, and I saw something that I knew I needed it. I needed the educational piece of it, and sometimes we think because we may have a bachelor's and master's degree and we have a PhD and we have all this stuff going, so we feel we will not just submit to learn from others because they are at a lower level. But when I realized and see where my vision was going and what I needed to create, I couldn't get that from a university. And it's very sad, because if you think about it, a university is not going to teach you how to go out and launch your vision. If that was the case, we would have a lot of successful people out there today that graduate from a university and doing very well. There's so many today that getting ready to leave school in May, and I am telling you, they're probably afraid, like really, to go out there to find that job that they're going to be looking for, and to knowing that the job that used to pay $60,000 is now paying $35,000, and they have to line up in a line of 3,000 people to be selected to bring their own creativity that they're coming out of school with, when if they will ever thought how to create which every one of us has a vision. To be honest with you, we all do, but we're afraid to really unleash that vision. So if you get a person like, you've seen someone out there that actually doing it, don't worry about what they have and their credibility or their credentials, because a lot of times that credentials doesn't mean anything. Because as you can tell, look around, you may want to Google it, see what a person with a PhD or a doctorate degree or whatever it is. I mean, I'm not against degrees, but I'm just telling you, don't let credential of another person feels that it's okay for you to feel that, oh, I'm not going to go work with that individual, or I'm not going to seek help from that individual, because the youngest generation out there today that can teach you so much that you can learn from, and you can take that to launch your vision and move to a different direction within your life. And that's where I went, because I never went to seek out the big top educational person. I just went to seek out someone that I saw was doing things, and I knew what that individual was doing. That's where I wanted to be, and even be better. So by seeking that out, thank God that I was guided by the man above, and now I feel confident with myself. I feel confident within Justin that we have something to bring out to the universe, and be honest to you, that to tell you that whatever you're going to do within life, it's never going to be easy. All right? If it was easy, everyone would have been out there doing it. If it was, but you know what? There's a greater light at the end of the tunnel. So never let anyone steer you from your vision. I talked to I use a quick example. I spoke to my sister-in-law. We actually was talking about how, you work your job during the day, and you work your fortune at nights, and work your fortune after you get off work and on weekends. Now you have to make that sacrifice, and we have to make that sacrifice, because within us, we all have greatness in us. Every single one of us have greatness. We all have a creative standpoint within us, and we cannot be afraid to sit back and take that time to ourselves and seek out our vision, seek out what we know we're destined to be, seek out the greatness, and always remember that you cannot do it alone. That's my biggest takeaway. You cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. Your vision has to, and it's a must, involve people. I get an email sometimes, a person will say to me, hey, do you know of a program that I can promote that does not involve people? I told the individual, you know what, you need to go to Google and Google that because I don't have it. Because what program are you going to promote that does not involve people? Are you going to promote it to the sky? Who you promoted it to? Someone has to purchase it. There got to be some form of exchange of money. So when you ask, I'm looking for a program to promote that it doesn't involve people, to me, sorry to say, but I'm going to say, because I just real talk, that's a silly question. What's there that's going to involve people? If you sell a house, it involves people. If you buy coffee, it's involve people. Whatever you do, it has to be an exchange of money somewhere on the line. It has to involve people. So just dig deep. Again, I love to use that word, dig deep. And we're here to help because, as I said, we're bringing this out to you. And we were just blessed that we're surrounded with some of the best that helping us to get where we're going. And now we feel that we have to, along the way, we need to take you with us. We're not going alone. Yeah, I can sit back. I mean, I can sit back and don't involve Justin. I can sit back and take $2,000 a month and invest in marketing and just don't even know who I'm marketing to and just go out there and just make a ton of money and never have to worry about people and just knowing that. Oh, no. You have to involve people. Doesn't work that way, it has to. All right, so that's my message, and I'm back to Justin.
Yeah, powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. And when it comes down to it, like closing out, I'll give Rob the end on this one, but closing out because we're going to keep it to about 30 minutes. So a lot of times people think that very thing, like that, oh, I'm not good with people or I don't want to be around people. And speaking from the self-awareness piece again, I'm someone that's wasn't natural with people. And through different experiences of just like pushing myself through it, like I got better with people. But here's the bottom line. The bottom line is it's not that you're not good with people. A lot of times it's not that you're lazy. Sometimes people are lazy. All right, but a lot of times it's not laziness. A lot of times it's not that you haven't found the right program. It's just you don't have the vision. And when you have vision, you're not worried about how you're going to connect with people. It's going to come more naturally. Of course, you're going to put in the work and you're going to, develop the strategies how to find the right people. But it's going to come naturally. You're not going to worry about it on that level, the basic level of like, how do I connect with people or how do I avoid connecting with people? You're not going to think on that level. You're going to think more on the solution. How am I going to make it happen? Because of the vision is up here, and it's the vision is something that you're not going to like push to the side or just say, hey, like, I guess that didn't work out. It's going to be something you want to fight for, like fight for your life. You got to fight for it, and it's like you're not going to be in a place where you're thinking, where can I find a new program? Where can I find a new service? Unless you're like, that's your strategy, that's different. But like, you're not going to be in that meandering, like, what do I do state? Because you're going to have a purpose for what you're doing. And I just want to leave with that message. I'm going to kick it over to Rob, and we'll wrap up. So back to you, Rob.
Okay, I want to close out with a Proverb 29, verse 18. Where there's no vision, the people perish. So that's my quick one, and as we, here we go. I went to the Bible with that and just to kind of go through this a little bit. The Bible has the answer. The Bible has your answer for your vision. The Bible has your answer for your health. The Bible has your answer for fitness. Your Bible has your answer for anything you're looking for. That is the book of wisdom, the book of whatever you need. It's there. I tell you this, I would just sleep, wake up, and something comes to me because I keep clarity and wait for it to come inside. And guess what? It's time to launch. When we get ready to launch our new project, it was just the weirdest thing to show how the man above works. He gave me this, so I woke up, I called Justin, I says, hey, and he says, by the way, I was thinking about the same thing. Here you go, clarity. So just always remember to keep the man above in it, because he will give you clarity. Don't let anyone steer you away from it. If you're out, try to have tunnel vision. I'm not telling you to be dead. You know what I'm talking about. If you're a man, you're a lady, whatever way the cap fit, keep your head straight, because the moment you turn that head this way and got involved in something wrong, you know what I'm talking about, guess what happened to your vision? It started going in a total different direction. I'm going to repeat it again. To strive to where you're trying to get in life, keep your head straight. Make sure you keep the man above in your vision. Ask him for clarity. And don't let anyone steer you away from it. Because the moment you look to the left or look to the right, guess what happened? You're now distracted, and your vision can go in a whole nother direction. So stay focused. And that's what I'm closing out tonight. I just want to thank you so much for stopping by, checking us out on these hangouts. They're getting better. And as you tell, hey, it's raw. And ain't nothing but just realness come to you guys. And we're here for you to help you in whatever way. I'm going to let Justin go ahead and share his website with you. My website is shepherdfit.info, which is my blog site. I post on there at least twice a week. You can reach me there. You can also reach me on Facebook. And my Facebook username is Rob Shepherd 72, and it's spelled Shepherd in the Bible, S-H-E-P-H-E-R-D, because I always have to make that clear, because sometimes people spell it with A-R-D. All right? Again, back to you, Justin.
All right, huge things coming up. As you mentioned, my website's right below. I'm not sure if you can see it out here, but it's Justin-Messina, spelled the way that my name's spelled below, .com. And my Facebook is facebook.com/therealmessina. You can find me on social media at jmesslife. So gonna come back next week with a good topic. I kind of have the topic in mind. It's sort of awesome how these roll one after another. It's like an evolving process. It's really neat. But big projects to come, and we'll definitely interact. Give your feedback. What you want to hear us talk about, any sort of questions, comments, anything. We love to hear from you. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.